Yo, what's good, people? We back at it for another week, another episode of What's the Word with LJ Mental Podcast. As always, I'm your host with the most, LJ. Yeah, man. Man, oh, man. Um, now, this is, now, as I said before, this is, you listening to me for this episode 73 now. Uh, you know that I talk about a variety of different things, but this mainly entertainment podcast range from movies, shows, sports. This show gonna be a little sports heavy today. uh, I really could talk NFL like all day, but I wanted to challenge myself and talk about some other things as far as entertainment and give you some little nuggets too about maybe how to start a business or invest. And I do talk about that from time to time, mixing some different things there and trying to relate it to my word of the week. But yeah, that's gonna be a little sports heavy today. Now let's get right into it. My word of the week this week is realization. Now what is? Let me take it to define it. Realization is an act of becoming fully aware of something that is a fact. And the fact of the matter is, Deontay Wilder, whether he's a sore loser or not, has to come to the realization that he cannot beat Tyson Fury ever. If you saw that fight Saturday night, it was bad for Deontay Wilder. It was actually very entertaining. Went back and forth in the beginning, the first round and the fourth round. He kind of hung in there in the second round, but Deontay Wilder actually came out looking pretty good. He was seemed like he got a little smart. He was working the body, landed some big shots. And Tyson Fury, in the second round and the third round, he caught Deontay Wilder really good. He caught him good. Dropped him in the third round. Dropped him. But Deontay Wilder, he showed a lot of heart in this whole fight. He showed a lot of heart. But yeah, he dropped him in the third round. And at that point, I'm like, oh shit, it's over. But nope, he got right back up, got through the round. And in the fourth round, because I really wanted Deontay Wilder to win. I really did. But the Bronze Bomber come out in the fourth round, and that was his best round by far. And during that round, he dropped Tyson Fury twice. And the first time he dropped him, I'm like, oh shit, he got him. That second round, or I'm sorry, not the second round. The second time he dropped Tyson Fury, I thought it was over. Like he finally got him. But nope, because like he caught him clean quite a few times. He was tagging him in the fourth round. He caught him clean. And that second time he dropped Tyson Fury, I'm like, it's over. And it was far from over. Tyson Fury got his butt back up. And from the fifth round on, Tyson Fury owned the fight. After the fifth round, it wasn't even close. It wasn't even after the fourth. Once he got up, it was like he got better during the fight. It's crazy. And what really puzzled me too during this fight is Deontay Wilder looks like he's really clean cut guy. Tyson Fury, he looks heavy and like has flab and stuff like that. He looks like kind of fat. So, but I guess he's in shape and he had a lot more energy than Deontay Wilder. Now I know they said Deontay Wilder put on extra muscle. He's not. I guess he went in there at 238 pounds when he's normally walking around at 225, 230. And he put on that extra weight. He's not normally walking around in. And he's gassed, which is crazy. I'm like, this dude looks cut. I mean, he gassed by the fifth round. I'm like, dude, like, but I guess it's that extra weight he's not used to walking around in. And, yeah, it definitely took a toll. But still, one thing that really bothered me, too, is, why the hell was Deontay Wilder hand so low? Like dude, you need to put your hands up. He was getting tagged so easily. Like even when he caught him in the second, third, when Tyson Fury caught him in the second, third round, like this dude was getting tagged easy. Like he was hitting him, like when he wanted to. Like it was like, bro, like put your hands up. Like why'd your hands up? And he can't move. Like, and it's crazy for Tyson Fury to be that tall and that big, and he's real nimble on his feet. Like yeah. As far as today's heavyweights, I can't see nobody beating him. Like I don't think I could put him up there with some of the all-time great heavyweights in history. It's from like. But right now, yeah, he's the best in the business for right now. But yeah, he's real nimble on his feet to be that size. But and Deontay Wilder is not at all. Like I mean, and I need to stop comparing people. Not even comparing, but need to stop putting the measuring stick to Floyd Mayweather because nobody's Floyd. Floyd to me makes everybody else look like an amateur. Like the way when he gets in the ring, especially in his prime. Like I know a lot of people were disappointed with the Pacquiao fight, but that was really on Pacquiao to me. Like Floyd did what he was supposed to do. He fight like how he normally does, get people frustrated because they can't hit him, and he go in there and school them. He go there and make them look silly. That's what he does. Greatest defensive fighter ever, and you could argue he might be the greatest fighter ever. And I know he's not a heavyweight, really small guy, welterweight, but as far as boxing skill, Floyd is the best skilled fighter I've ever seen. But the measure stick this is something totally different. These is heavyweights slugging it out. It was a very fun fight to watch, for sure. 5 drop downs. 5 knockdowns, like a lot of hits, a lot of action. Like that's what people want when they go to boxing. We want to see action. We want to see people get hit. We want to see people get knocked out. And Deontay Wilder got knocked out in the 11th round. Yeah, he showed a lot of heart though. Like the people online, they gonna share the memes, making when something happened, make them look silly. I didn't do that. He showed a lot of heart, but man, this dude would not put his hands up. Like he was getting hit, and I know he's not. His skill isn't like where he could dodge like how Tyson Fury can, but at least put your hands up, so not get tagged as easy as you did. Like his hands was way too low to me. Like I don't know how he's maybe that's what he's doing in training. Like I have no idea, but yeah. Deontay Wilder need to come to realization. They don't need to fight no more. I don't know if Deontay Wilder is gonna fight, but he don't need to fight. He need to stay away from Tyson Fury. It's over for that. He had the trilogy. He had 3 fights. First fight was a tie, even though a lot of the majority of people thought Tyson Fury really won that fight. Probably because Deontay Wilder dropped him late in the fight, and he got back up. Is why they gave it a tie. But the second and third fight, he's clearly lost, and he just can't beat him. So yeah, I need to come to that realization. As far as that, and it's become a fact that he cannot beat him. He just can't. Another thing I gotta talk about and address. This Jon Gruden, I have to talk about this Jon Gruden situation, right? Former coach of the Las Vegas Raiders. People gotta come to the result. I think, Keyshawn Johnson and Shannon Sharp have already been talking about Jon Gruden for years, especially Keyshawn Johnson, the guy who played for him when he was with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and they won a Super Bowl. Been talking about Jon Gruden for years, about how he was never really a fan of Jon Gruden like that, and he just seemed kind of shady and talk behind people back, and he's a fraud basically. He seemed like this real nice guy, and he's good on Monday when he was on ESPN Monday Night Football. But yeah, been saying for years he's a fraud. Shannon Sharp didn't call him a fraud, but he said, yeah, I don't know something about this dude. But I guess the world is coming to the realization that Jon Gruden just don't need to be. He don't need to be associated anyway with the NFL because of who he is. And people put on this front of, oh yeah, nice in your face, but really can't stand your guts. And that's clear. And he was good on Monday Night Football. Like when him and Mike Tirico was announcing on Monday Night Football games. But just the stuff, and it's funny too, right? His first of all, I want to know how the hell the investigators got these emails. Apparently, like there's an investigation with the Washington football team from years ago because some scandal happened with them, and Jon Gruden was exchanging emails back and forth with Bruce Allen, who was on the staff for that team for during that time period. No longer there, but it's crazy, and it's funny that Jon Gruden's brother Jay Gruden was employed by the Washington football team years ago. And the first is crazy. The first email that came out about NFL PA president DeMaurice Smith. I remember that during that lockout year in 2011. Jon Gruden talked about his lips, which a lot of black people, we have bigger lips, and Jon Gruden like to make fun of that. I mean, I'm not and it's crazy, right? I mean, it's funny how some, not all white folks, because not all white people think like that. Some white folks make fun of black people's lips, but some white folks don't even have any lips at all. I ain't gonna get into that but yeah, it's crazy because yeah, it's unfortunate that it took immediately, like when the first email came out, people say, oh, we should forgive and forget, that was so long ago. But when we start talking about the LGBT community and we talk about all these other communities, he offended women, which is all wrong. It's all wrong what he said, right? But then he goes out and offend. But then that's when people want to really cancel him, as all this other stuff come out. That's crazy. When all this other stuff come out about the LGY, it's been like them in America for years. Whenever it's anything involving black people that's discrimination or anything racist, it's like, oh, we want to forget. But when it involves other communities, we quick to try and cancel them. Why is that? It's crazy, right? I mean, he should have been on here and there. And but Jon Gruden is cool. Like he's cool with the owner, Mark Davis. That's like they best friends, so to speak. And it's funny because Mark Davis's late father, the legendary Al Davis, who was a former coach, I think player, and then he later on became the owner of the Raiders. Known for that phrase, the legendary phrase, "Just win, baby." That's Al Davis. It's funny, Mark Davis, cool with Jon Gruden. Al Davis wasn't really too a fan of Jon Gruden, which is funny because, and Al Davis is more known for being a rebel as far as the NFL. He's one of the first ones to be very innovative, very forward-thinking, open-mindedness, as far as including, as far as black people. He back when he was a coach many years ago, when there was still like a lot of segregation. He said he wouldn't even let the players play when they have black and white players in separate locker rooms. Like, we're not even going to take the field. Um, and he was one of the first, at least in the modern era, he was the first one in the modern era to hire a black coach for his football team, for his head coach. He's the first one to have a woman on his staff in a very high position. He was the first one to have include women, and very early include someone in the Latin community on to hire as a coach as well. Very forward thinking. Should be commended. Some people think his methods are not just because of that were unorthodox. Some people didn't agree with it, but like I said, he was a rebel. Some people consider it an outlaw, which was, I guess, good for the brand of what that Raiders nation, or whatever. But nah, just forget the brand. Scratch the brand. I just think Al Davis, I mean, he was really, he ain't like, he saw something he didn't like with this regime or whatever, and he's like, nah, we need to change this. We can't be discriminating against these different type of people. Like, we need to do something different. And it's funny, when Jon Gruden first stint as the Raiders coach back years ago, Al Davis was still alive. He didn't hire him. I think Bruce Allen, I think was a GM at the time, hired Jon Gruden. And when he was there, they clashed, Jon Gruden and Al Davis. And honestly, I feel like if all these emails came out, if Al Davis still, I don't know that guy, rest his soul, I honestly believe that they had all this information. Apparently, Mark Davis had, the owner, the current owner of the Raiders, Al Davis' son, had all this information on Friday, as far as the Morris Smith emails, the emails about, he said something about yeah, he doesn't like women being referees. He said something about, he said Eric Reed should be fired for exercising his right to kneel during national anthem and come back. So you okay with police killing black people? So you just don't give a damn. That's what you're really saying. You don't give a, you cool with these black players winning you games, but you don't give a fuck about black people. You don't. But yeah. Well, yeah, we're not gonna get too much in that, because we are, us black people, so frustrated with telling the same story. We so tired of it. But yeah, we already know what it is, and he's not the only one, I'm sure. But it's, yeah, he said his man should be fired. I'm surprised he didn't say nothing about Kaepernick himself. I'm surprised he didn't. Well, at least they didn't uncover anything, but said Eric Reed should be fired for didn't hurt anybody, didn't break any laws. He didn't say anything derogatory toward any race. But he said Eric Reed should be fired for exercising his right, trying to defend. And it kills me too that people saying all these players are selfish. They're anything but selfish. You're thinking about somebody else other than themselves. This is why they took the stand, which I don't get why people don't understand that. But yeah, it's funny that I honestly believe that if Al Davis was still around and he was the owner, I think Jon Gruden would have been fired that Friday. He would have been gone right away. He wouldn't have been allowed to coach the game against the Bears that Sunday. And people saying the Raiders did the right thing. But I'm confused because they didn't let him go. He left on his own. I mean, Mark Davis, because they so cool, he like, hey man, I'm gonna let you. They probably had a discussion. He let him walk on his own rather than him firing him. But yeah, I honestly feel like Al Davis he would have been gone right then and there. I don't know that'd be true. Maybe some things they would have had to work out first, have a discussion. But yeah, honestly, from what I've seen about Al Davis, I think he would have been gone right away. But and it's funny that the son isn't as forward thinking as the father. You know, it's usually, we would think, it'd be the other way around. where somebody the older generation is old school thinking and no, we need to do it this way, but it's actually the reverse. The father was much more forward thinking than the son is, which is very interesting. Not to say Mark Davis is for anything that Jon Gruden said. I have no idea, but if they was tight like that, who knows what type of conversations they had. And let's be real about this. I mean, we know that Jon Gruden not the only guy that thinks like that, as far as using racist terms towards black people, as far as not wanting women involved in NFL. And it's funny too, right? Like I was saying earlier about how immediately the first thing that came out about a black man, we want to forgive or forget. It's a perfect example of this, but any other um, ethnic groups, or not even ethnic groups, but any other, I'm sorry, not ethnic groups, but any other groups like women or LBGT community or any other particular groups come out, there's outrage and he has to go. Well, it's a perfect example, right? A guy named Riley Cooper, former receiver who really was never really that good for the Philadelphia Eagles, white receiver. Back in 2013, he had a video that came out of him saying, calling 3 black folks a nigga at a country concert. The only 3 black people there at this damn country concert. The only 3 black people there. He gonna use this term, right? He gonna say like, I'll fight every nigga here. And there's only 3 black people there, right? That video came out, and we want to forgive Michael. I remember Michael Vick was the starting quarterback. He defended Riley Cooper at the time, which I thought was crazy. I thought that shit was crazy. I believe Chip Kelly was the coach at the time, and I don't know. He might be undercover racist too. How he got rid of Deshaun Jackson and some of the other great players who was better than Riley Cooper at the time. I thought that was crazy. Why he got rid of them players, but it's funny how Michael Vick and some of them people defended him. Like, I didn't understand that one. That was back in 2013. Now I know we in a different world now, and I don't even think people are. Well, I think people are who they are, and some people eyes are open, and now some people still stuck in their ways and they trying to hide it. Some people may have not realized, like, oh man, maybe I do need to be more open-minded. And some people still believe that same dumbass rhetoric. Yeah, it's funny how that happened in 2013. He was allowed to keep his job for 3 more years after that video came out. And then another perfect example, Jon Gruden. He was allowed to coach another game against the Chicago Bears, 2-3 days later after this information came out about DeMaurice Smith. But as soon as that other stuff came out, he got to go. That's funny how that works, right? But yeah, I just wanted to point that out. Just this pattern that's been going on for years. That's funny to me, right? That's funny to me. And Riley Cooper wasn't even that damn good of a receiver. Like, it's not like he was a top-notch receiver, because I know how the NFL does. Some players do horrible things and allowed to keep their job. He wasn't even that great of a talent, for one. But that shouldn't matter. But it does. But let's be real. Like, greater players get greater leeway. And he wasn't even that great of a player, so I just thought that was crazy. But yeah, we just gotta come to the realization that some things will never change. We make a lot of progress, but certain things you're never gonna completely get rid of racism. I know on the NFL field, in the end zone on their helmets, we got end racism, inspired change, all these great sayings. It's great, and things are changing, but certain things you're never gonna get rid of. I think some things people stuck in their ways. Some things gonna be taught in their home. Some horrible things people teaching their kids, and some things just never gonna change, and that's a fact. We all gotta come to realization of that. and this is unfortunate. It's sad because I think we are better together than apart. As a people, uh, as a whole, but yeah, some things just never gonna change, and be real about it. Last thing I want to talk about before I get up out of here is this NFL first 5 weeks. I've never been a Bills fan. You know, I'm from Buffalo, New York. Bills look like the best team in the NFL. Before this NFL season started, I put on mine. I believe the Packers and the Bills are going to the Super Bowl. I'm sticking with that, even though I got some concerns about my team, the Packers. I'm sticking with that. First 5 weeks, the Bills look like the best team. The Chiefs, who a lot of people riding high, picked them to go back to the Super Bowl. I didn't think they would go back this year, but they're 2-3 right now. I think they're gonna turn it around. I still think they're gonna be a playoff team. They probably not gonna win their division. That's probably gonna be the Chargers, who somebody I know saw the Chargers coming. I didn't. Honestly, I didn't see the Chargers coming. I liked their defense. I thought they would be better, but I didn't see them being this good. Didn't see the Cowboys either. There's always one or two teams. Every single year, there's always one team, at least one, that's surprising people. And I think that's the Cowboys. The Cowboys look dangerous right now. But we gonna see a lot of NFL action, especially with 17 games this year instead of 16. A lot of football left to be played, and I can't wait to see how this shit unfold throughout the year. But yeah, that's gonna be it for me today. On time, but yeah, this Jon Gruden situation has been it's really not that surprising. And there's other guys out there like that right now, probably NFL owners, maybe Dan Schneider, who he had communications with. They're doing an investigation right now. But yeah, it's other guys like that. Just gotta weed them out. And but it is what it is. We gotta keep moving, keep striving, keep pushing, no matter what, and keep being better, progressing. I'm out.